Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Let me know if you can hear me. I think my mic is working tonight. I don't know what I did the other night, but apparently it was user error because it looks like it's working. But good to see you guys. I'm sorry I was gonna come on last night, but I didn't have for what I wanted to talk about. I just didn't have enough research done, and then I thought we could just go through more of current events type stuff, but I didn't want to do that and just I don't know. I just didn't want to do that. So, I'm here tonight because I've been waiting to talk about a couple things here, and I think this is the perfect time. There's a few updates I want to go over with you guys and get your thoughts on it and stuff. So, before I say hello to you guys, well, let me say hello actually, and then I'll explain. So, but I do want to say hi because Delana, good to see you. I haven't freaking seen you in forever, or it feels like forever. Hey, Neat. Hey, Kathy Joe. Hey, Tess. Hey, J13. Hey, Carolina. Thank you. I was telling you guys. Hey, Sarah. My phone will be ready tomorrow. I called this evening like 5 minutes before they closed, and I'm like, dude, like, when will my phone be ready? And she's like, oh my God, no one called you? It's here. So I can't wait because I'll feel so much more back in my element. I'll be back in with the algorithm of my phone. And yeah, I'm just thankful I'll be back like talking to you guys. I've barely talked to anyone. Even the people I have talked to, it's been very brief. So yeah, I really look forward to getting it back. Kelly, he looks like a thumb too. Yeah, he looks like something. Hey, Tiny Ghost. Hey, Crime All the Time. J Rose. Good to see you guys. Saw Hoodie and a Crowbar. Good to see you. There you are. Hey, Petunia. All right. I've missed you, Delana. Hey, Coffee. Okay. Hey, Simone. So tonight we're going to be talking about some updates regarding Stephan Stearns and his family. And some of it will be more just like I want to get your opinions on. Some of it will be case related. Some of it is more as other stuff. You'll see as we go, as we work our way through these different updates. If you don't know who Stephan Stearns is, oh God, he's a disgusting monster who is serving life in prison for the murder and long-term abuse of Madeline Soto. I have on my Patreon actually but on the free tier, so you don't have to pay anything. If you go over to Patreon, which I've missed that too, not having my phone. I do have access to it. It's just different on the computer. And I can't wait to get back to doing lives over there and just like watching stuff together and hanging out. But if you go over to my Patreon on the wall, you'll see the timeline for this case. I tried to do a very detailed timeline of everything from when they met to the end. And it's with a lot of quotes directly from the police documents that we've gotten. We actually got long before his plea. Interviews, it's interactive. You can click the links and stuff in it. So if you are interested, even if you know the case, go check it out there. Hey, Wolfie. I know I get it tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm excited. I've missed you. Or did you, Delana? Okay. So, happy early birthday, J13. So, okay. We're going to start with, I'm going to pull up Plunder. Her name is tagged in the description. She has the documents on her Patreon, which I could get, but I'm just going to pull up her video. Let's see. I actually had it pulled up in the background. So Stephan was recently moved. Actually, that is where I'll start with to show you guys where he's at. Now, I'm kind of confused. Anybody who knows more on this, let me know, because here's his new picture. He's in the Wakula Annex. Now, if we go over here to the institutions list, and if you type in WAK to get to the Wakula Annex, you'll see there's a Wakula Correctional Institution, and then the annex. Now, when you come over here, it's a faith and character-based facility. It says we never walk alone. And it gives you a little bit of information, but not too much. There is a few academic programs, a general education, English as a second language, adult literacy, and basic education, as well as wellness education. There's some substance abuse programs, and then a lot of faith-based stuff. So if you know anything like more about this place and this place, the annex versus the main institution, I know that my mom used to work at a federal prison in West Virginia, and there was a camp as well. And so where she worked in the main part of the prison, it was medium security, but it was a lot of security, but it wasn't a max facility. But and then the camp, they had like no security. So you literally pass the camp, anybody could get on and off easily. You could walk in and out of there. Let me just say that. It's just like another place on the road before you get to the prison. It's not in a fence. Now, if I do remember correctly, it is behind like a gate, but it's just one of those gates you can like drive around. Like it's not a gate that's enclosed and fenced in. That makes sense. So. Wesley, I don't know. I'm kind of confused on what you're saying there. One of the most monstrous cases. Absolutely. I mean, it's just disgusting. And, he recently took a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. But here's the thing. He pled guilty to the years of abuse. So when Maddie went missing and he was the last person with her, at first it was kind of, no one was sure because the mom said we took her to school, but it was actually just him. And you find out he's the last person with her, and then the cops go to talk to him, and we find out about this after the fact, of course, and he's deleted. The cop said he had no calls on his phone, right? Everything, like all of a sudden this dude has done a factory reset and he's the last person with her. So people were he was suspicious immediately. Come to find out, when they do they take his phone for that reason, and they're able to take it and download whatever they do to see things that have been deleted, right? And they find videos going back several years. He had been since she was very little, 8 years old, and she had just had her 13th birthday on February the 22nd of 2024, and she went missing on the 26th, I believe. It is not fresh in my brain, but yeah, I don't even know where I was going there. There's just a little bit of how disgusting this case is. He had been doing this to her for a long, long time, and it was never discovered until she went missing and people started looking a little bit closer. When they did start looking closer, they see videos of, him threatening her that she can't watch his phone or watch cartoons if she doesn't do what he asked. And then I go back to him pleading the no contest on the murder and then guilty on, there was proof of that. So he had to plead guilty, but he's pled no contest in her murder. And his family is very dead set on Jenn Soto being involved. A lot of people think she should be arrested. Some people think she's going to be. And we're going to talk about that next. But let's talk about what's going on with Stephan. So he was first moved to like a processing center, and then he was moved to a prison called Appalachia, and then to this new place, the Wakula. But in Plunder's video here, let's see, my first timestamp is at like a minute and a half where she talks about his move, I think. Let me just get it. Yeah, 140.
A hit put out on him and all this stuff. And according to the...
Okay, so I don't hear that Did you guys hear her talking just
Official
now?
paperwork, it looks like it's that way. So he was transferred. Stephan Stearns was in the Osceola County Jail. He went to the Central Florida Reception Center in Orlando sometime around July 23rd. And then he went on to the...
Well, hold on. Sorry, you guys. I just need to be able to hear as well as we go. Just 1 second. Dude, what the heck? Literally cannot hear it. And this is important. We have a lot of the things I want to show you are things that we have to hear together. I do apologize, you guys, but just 1 second. Can you hear me, Shelly Beans? I'm sorry. Hi, Nicole B. Hey, LG. We are trying to get started, but what I want to watch with you guys, I can't hear on my side. And this has happened before, but I had my phone so I could hear as we listened.
According to the official paperwork, it
Oh, my Lord. Audio. Do, 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 do. See if this works now. It's so important that we hear. For this part, not as much because I'm going to pull up and read the paper that she shows, right? There's a couple things that she shows that I want to read to you guys. I wasn't going to play the audio anyways. And for the move I just described to you, I was just going to show what she had to say about his move. But the next part, when Stephan's mom, there's a clip from Twitter that we're going to look at where his mom is participating in Turtle Island. And I do want to talk about that. And we have to hear it together. So right now, nevertheless, right now, let's refresh this and see if it will help.
So sometimes I wonder if life...
No.
is more valuable.
Okay, can you hear me? Oh my gosh, you might be able to hear me now. Then my mic went out and StreamYard notified me that my mic went out. Okay, sorry to keep you guys waiting. I cannot believe I was literally just listening to stuff on this before we got started. But let's get into this and I'll get another device and try to listen so we can do the rest together. So at 13:15, actually 16:20 will show the full thing. She's going to show the first report I wanted to show you guys. I apologize so much for anybody coming in. We are talking about Stephan Stearns. At the beginning of September, he was recently moved. And, he's not feeling safe in prison with his charges. What do you know? Like, if you mean you can't rape and murder a child and then go to prison and feel safe? Like, no freaking way. Are you kidding me? Wow. I never would have freaking thought. Hey, Chief. Hey, Teacup. So that's basically where we're at. Now let's look at these reports about that. Hey, Bushy. It reminds me of Koberger. It's like, I'm not safe in here. Or Chris Watts. Oh, my life is at risk. Well, maybe you shouldn't, I don't know, murder someone, especially children. And definitely shouldn't murder them as well. But definitely sexually assaulting kids will get you hated to be just as hated, and you're going to be on the list, right? There's a lot of people in prison who don't commit crimes like that, who their crimes weren't violent at all, and they're in prison and they can't see their family. But you come in there and you took the life of your family or your stepdaughter or any child for that matter. They're not going to like you too much. Why are you surprised? Like, I'm sorry, the fear experience is what I would hope they're having. It's what they deserve. Honestly, it's like there is nothing, there is no punishment that makes what they've done okay. So the fear is the only thing that, like, you want them to feel uncomfortable. And here they are in prison, eating whatever they want, parents sending Stephan money, he's getting all these different candies and this and that, reading all these books, whatever. They are pretty comfortable in prison these days, and yeah. Hey, Past, good to see you. All right, so narrative or reason requesting protection. Medical documentation shows no injuries per medical staff. According to this protection request, Officer S. Turner interviewed inmate Stearns for protection needs. Inmate Stearns states that he is in fear of his life of the blank. Inmate Stearns states that he was made aware that the blank placed a hit on him due to his charges. Inmate Stearns states that upon arriving to Appalachia, the inmates here, so this report was from the first prison. So like I said, he first went to a place that is like, it's like the first stop that's going to help find the prison you're going to go to. And then he goes here to Appalachia. And then we know he's been moved again. Was this why? Probably. I don't know. Chris Watts was moved to Wisconsin. So inmate Stearns states that upon arriving to Appalachia, the inmates here began to threaten him due to his case being a high-profile case and them seeing him on the news. Inmate Stearns states that he was advised if he does not get off the compound, he will be killed. Inmate Stearns voluntarily completed a DC 6112C witness statement. And this whatever, and a review of his GTL Securus phone calls were reviewed during this investigation, and no sustainable evidence could be identified in this investigation. Inmate Stearns will remain in administrative confinement. Now, remember I had that first timestamp that was like at 13 minutes, and I said, well, we can just see it all at 16 minutes where we were at, and that's only because I wanted you guys to see the bottom of this, and at the top, all we have is like the officer's name and his name. So,
and they're saying
it says conclusion. During the investigation process, I discovered inmate Stearns has no prior protection placements due to his prison term beginning on July 23rd, 2025. He was sentenced on the 21st, if I'm not mistaken. However, on July 25th, inmate Stearns was placed under investigation due to having a high-profile case per the CDC. It can be, I don't know what that stands for. Maybe something department correction. I don't know. I don't think it's in like the actual CDC, Center for Disease Control, but per CDC, it can be confirmed that inmate Stearns did make it to the national news. Inmate Stearns could not provide names for the inmates who threatened him due to being placed under protection the same day he arrived to Appalachia. Now, I find that part really interesting. He did not give any names. Did he not know their names because he was new there? Or is it possible he didn't like want to give their names? Like trying, that would put him in even more danger. I don't know. Hey, Grandma Sherry. Hey, Lori. Good to see you guys. Curious Christine, thank you for being a member for 14 months. But, you know, I don't know. We hear talk of a hit, and we've heard that before. And I would love to know what's redacted here. So again, it says, inmate Stearns states he is in fear of his life of the blank. Inmate Stearns states that he was made aware that the blank placed a hit on him due to his charges.
And no sustainable evidence could be identified.
And I feel like there was even a little bit more to this. Oh, but without the sound, like, I don't remember if it was here or somewhere else, because I've been gathering, you know, not right before this live, but this morning and prior to. Lori, wow, thank you for being a member for 31 freaking months. Damn, enjoyed every month. Thank you, Lori. The Unforgiven. Huh. He might have the STD, so the CDC would be involved, just to note that stipulation. But would they be involved in, like, him being placed under protection due to having a high-profile case? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. A little bit confusing there. And also, he doesn't give any names. His case did make it to the national news, and that's true. His phone calls were reviewed during this investigation. No evidence could be identified from that. Yeah. Inmate Stearns states that upon arriving to Appalachia, the inmates here began to threaten him due to his case being a high-profile case and them seeing him on the news. So do you think that they recognized his name or his face, and that's why? Or did they just know his case is high-profile? It's a white supremacy. Okay, Tess, that makes sense, because remember just now when I was like, I think there's more to this, but I can't remember exactly. I think it had to do with a gang. So it's a white supremacy gang in the Florida prisons, the Unforgiven. Interesting. Thank you. Oh, Lori, we are going to talk about that today. You know, he is an STD. Yes, he is. Hey, Bendy. Hey, what are you saying? Aw, Grandma Sherry, thank you for being a member for 10 months. Well, since my sound is being so ridiculous and I want to hear some of this with you guys, there's another, my next timestamp is 23:05. Let me go ahead to that, and then we'll talk about Jenn. Okay. So this is an incident report from August. You can see her reflection in it, but it says, on August 19th, 2025, I, Sergeant Justin Maddox, was assigned as use of force coordinator. At noon, I was advised by inmate Stearns that he was in fear of his life due to the nature of his charges and receiving numerous threats. So let's pause for a second and just say, this is August 19th. Remember, I said he was sentenced, I believe, on the 21st of July, and he was moved on the 23rd. So this is separate. He went to them then, right? As what we saw, he went and reported it the first day he was there at Appalachia. Now here he is in August, on August the 19th, filing this report. So it's not the same. No, I think it's just like she's showing her, she's reading from her computer screen, Kelly. I'm not sure. Oh, Lori, thank you. Thank you so much. And welcome to the new members. I'm going to be revamping this channel, and I have so many new ideas and new things I want to do, and pre-recorded stuff I want to do, and live stuff, and I'm going to make new emojis. So welcome to the new members. New intro, like everything's going to change here. I'm done with the old. I'm out with the old, in with the new. I'm ready to start over. For those of you who don't know, like, I used to stream pretty much every day. I would always take off, a day or two a week from it. But I did stream pretty much every day for a couple years. And this channel has been just such a blessing to my life for many reasons. And one of them being like meeting so many of like all my friends here on YouTube, like, and some of them here on the channel and some just in general on YouTube. But and then about a year and a half ago, my niece came to live with us, and I just haven't had the really the mental space to stream some days. Like, I've just been exhausted, haven't had the time other days. Like, there's just been reasons, right? And I've barely, like, I think like the last month I maybe streamed like 7 times the whole month or something. Not very much. And I want to get back to it. I miss it so much, and I feel like I've never really suffered from depression, but I can feel myself not feeling like as good as I did when I was on here more. And like, I don't know if it comes from like feeling passionate and speaking about things I felt that they were important to talk about, and that made me feel good, or just more interaction with you guys or whatever. But I do want to get back to it. I really do. So long story short, welcome to the new members, and we're going to have some new emojis soon. And we have some awesome channels, or some awesome emojis and channels that are friends of mine, but emojis already in the chat. Oh, Teacup, finding this channel has been an immensely positive experience for me. Oh, Teacup, have made some amazing friends. Thank you for saying that. And me too, dude, including you. Like, you guys just been here for me through so much. I will never forget the fall that we had 2 years ago. Like, that was one of the hardest times in my life. And yeah, I'm just thankful for you guys. So, okay, we'll get back to it. Grandma Sherry, thankful for you. All you guys, making me teary-eyed. See? I'm gonna cry. But no, I'm not gonna cry. I just made my eyes a little wet. Okay, Kelly, I have not. Oh, I thought you were talking to me, Bendy. I have not been checking emails because I can only probably access. I checked my main one today, but I don't think I have access to any of the other ones, which would be where you guys would email me. My main one's like where I started my channel from. Nature Rocks, thank you for being a member for 22 freaking months. Thank you. It's crazy, like, to think that I've known you for that long. Time flies. I'm sure they knew about him because he was in jail with other inmates awaiting transfer to the same prison. I never thought about that. That's probably part of it. Like, people just talking. And like, I never thought about you're literally in jail, and some of those people also went to that prison. So in my opinion, Stephan Stearns is cooperating with Ellie to bring justice to Maddie. Therefore, they moved him like they did. So we have totally different opinions. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Grandma Sherry. I do too, Coffee. Shelly Beans, thank you. And I'm here for you guys. All right, so let's look at this last part, this last sentence I read here again. Okay. I was notified at noon that he was in fear for his life due to the nature of his charges and receiving numerous threats. Due to the nature of his charges. Wow. Just, he's so freaking aware of how disgusting he is. And that just grosses me out even more. Like, and, like, not that everybody doesn't know that, right? But most people know that it's a disgusting thing to do what he did to Maddie, to any kid. And I don't know. I can't stand him. I'm sorry. The fact that he's just so aware of that just makes me can't stand him. He makes me not be able to stand him even more. So anyway, it goes on to say, it was explained to Stearns that he would be placed on protective management status until a complete investigation could be conducted and reviewed. Inmate Stearns completed a witness statement. Now, this was August 19th, and he was moved, I think, September 8th. Is it on this? No, it only says here that he went into the prisons on July 23rd. And remember, I said his court hearing was the 21st. He goes into prison the 23rd. So, okay, back to the paper. He did a witness statement. He was seen by redacted. I conducted a review of inmate Stearns' previous history and blank, and it is attached for review. This report will be forwarded for PM investigation, and then redacted, and then whatever for review. So I think he was moved not because, it's my opinion, it's him being moved has nothing to do with him working with authorities. I don't think there's much he can really tell them, but we're going to get into this more in a moment when we talk about Jenn. Oh my God, and I had a video to play, but I don't know if I'll play it now that the sound's doing what it's doing. Listen, when you're live and you're doing these things live, shit happens. You really never know, and technical issues are going to happen. But I still have some things I want to say about Jenn and talk about the possibilities there. I think he got moved because we see here, these are two different times with no amount of time. Let's see, under 2 months, that he was making these reports about threats he was getting and hits that were out on him and stuff like that. And I think that's why they moved him, only because we've seen it happen with other inmates. Hell, we've seen it with Chris Watts because of his safety. And think about Letitia not only being moved, but being moved back. Why did they move her back? They literally gave that bitch exactly what she wanted. And she did, like, it was constant bullshit to get to that point. I don't know. He's guilty of crime. Does anyone know if Jenn went to the psych ward? That is what has been alleged. Now, I don't know that there's proof. I don't know. No, I just know of rumors. Hey, Julie with no E. Can't imagine why anyone would like him. Okay. So now, he's officially a snitch if he's making complaints about other inmates. Double danger now. That's a good point. Especially if, it's a specific group like that we were talking about earlier that Tess had mentioned. They probably moved Tisha to get her to shut her up because she was too much. Okay. So now I want to talk about Stephan's mom and this Twitter post that went out and her calling into Turtle Island from Dolly Vision. So we're going to read it, and then I'm going to play some of it. I'm not going to play it all because I can't hear it. I'm going to give you my opinion and hear from you yours, but just don't think that, just let me get into it and wait till you hear my opinion before, and any questions I might have or whatever, because I don't even know this person. It's just something I saw on Twitter and wanted to share with you. But I have here, let me just read it. Some tea for today. Stephan Stearns, who is sentenced to life in prison for murder, sexual abuse of Madeline Soto's mother. Who's in life in prison. That was a weird run-on sentence there. Stephan's mom, Deborah, calls into a YouTuber game to vote off a YouTuber creator on Dolly Vision's game Turtle Island and gives her a reason to kick them off of it, which is part of saving them or not on the island. At the end of the night, votes were counted and one person is kicked off the island until the final, when there will be a winner. Then she calls again to vote again, but not knowing the rules. It's one vote per call. She tells Dolly she will wait until the next show to do it. I found it shocking to know that a convicted murderer's mom would be watching a game show. But more to hear, she frequently goes on another channel and just shoots the shit with them. Okay. Now,
Dolly. Hello.
Dolly?
Yes.
Hey, Dolly, this is Deborah Stearns. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, Jay told me you wanted to talk to me.
Do you say who?
Deborah Stearns, Stephan Stearns' mother.
You're Stephan Stearns' mother?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well.
Now, let's go back to the wording in this, because I just want to I can't stand Stephan Stearns, but I don't agree with this. And I don't like Dolly Vision, and I don't watch Turtle Island. Not a fan of it. I think that's just me. I don't like it. I could see why it could be fun for viewers and creators, but it's not for me. Won't participate in it, watch it, whatever. None of it. Excuse me. And I haven't looked at the chat, and I'm not going to. I want to get my thoughts out, and then I'm going to come see what you guys think. But let's go back to the post. I found it shocking to know that a convicted murderer's mom would be watching a game show. But more to hear, she frequently goes on another channel and shoots the shit with them. It was interesting to hear her voice, though. Well, guess what? You can hear her voice on lots of interviews, body cams, her interviews she's done. I don't like this. I don't find it shocking at all. You find it shocking a murderer's mom is watching a game show? The fuck is she supposed to just not live life at all anymore? Not watch TV, not watch YouTube, she's just a person like all of us. And, I can understand feeling angry with her because of what he's done. But if you think about that, it's angry with her because of what he's done. She didn't do it, and she supports him, yes, but she's his mom. And you might say, well, because she has said some things that I also don't agree with. Her comment about, I think it was more consensual because they would cuddle or whatever it was she said. I have it. I'm not going to play it because I can't hear it. But I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, let me know and I'll guide you in that direction. But that was in the beginning. I will say her tone has changed. She's been open to answering questions, which she doesn't have to be at all. She doesn't get anything from it. Okay. And I think she might have made some friends along the way, like Jay, and from Guilty of Crime. And that's the channel that they're talking about that she goes on to. And, she's just hanging out in a YouTube community. She's just a person. And at the end of the day, she's a victim in this. She's a victim of his. She may not like to hear that, but she is, in my opinion. Her whole life has been torn apart because of what he did. Her whole life, I can't imagine how she must feel. Can you imagine your life? If your child you find out your child is not only capable of something like this, but they follow through and do something like this, and then they get... the case gets tons of attention, and then everyone's picking apart your life and bankruptcies you may have had 20 years ago and all kinds of stuff. It's not fair. She's just a person. And she's not a person who has killed a child. She's not a person who spent years raping a child or ever raped one, right? Like her son. And I'm not going to use the little words that are nice for advertisers or whatever. That's just not my thing. So I'm sorry if it hits your ears a little harshly, but it's the truth. That's how I feel. So let me go to the comments now. Or she, in fact, knew he wasn't right to begin with. But even if she did, what could she do? You know what I mean? What can she really do if she has no awareness? Like, she's not aware of any crimes being committed and stuff. And you guys don't have to agree with me. I promise that I will not kick you out. I want you to be here. I want to have conversations with you. You could say, no, it is weird. Why would she be in this community that talks about her son's case or whatever? Have your opinion. This is just my opinion. I just think he deserves all the smoke. She does not. We've literally heard her and her husband talking with their son about how they wouldn't be alive to watch him take his last breaths if he got the death penalty. That was sad to hear them have to think about that. I wouldn't have minded to see him get it, honestly. But again, they didn't do this. And so hell, the birthday present he was going to give Maddie, let's not forget who gave it to him for Maddie. Her. He was a worthless piece of shit. He didn't work. He didn't have shit for himself. Mommy, Daddy, can I have some money? Mommy, Daddy, can I have this? Mommy, Daddy, do you have any anxiety medicine? For whatever he was asking for that, or the weekend before this all went down. Please remember to have an open mind. Buckle up, everyone, at Alex Erickson. She needs an outlet, I'm sure. Hey, that Carly, good to see you. Hey, you didn't upset me. No. Adrian, you never upset me at all. I was hoping I wouldn't upset you because I did disagree. And I didn't want you to feel like I was being like towards you. You did not upset me at all. At all. I don't care even if y'all totally disagree with me. You're not going to upset me. I think that we should be able to disagree on cases and different stuff going on in the world and not hate each other, man. Like, I don't ever want to, I just hope you guys know that this channel, it's okay. We don't have to all like the same things. Some of us feel this way about a case and the rest of us feel completely different and have really good conversations still. That's what makes good conversation. Now, I will say, hey, Pointer Lover, it's really gross. Hearing anybody be good to him is gross and hard to hear. But then again, it's her son. And I'm not going to, I don't know. But she does not need to be minimizing what he did. And I totally agree with you, J13. And that's where I'm going to probably disagree with a lot of you guys that may have agreed with. If you agreed with what I just said, you might disagree with me here in a second. I question her choices with Dolly. Jay is cool, though. Every time I was thinking about this today when I was going to school pickup, because I was planning on doing this live tonight and I was trying to get my stuff together. Isn't it bullshit that I sit there and plan and think about this like all day, gathering stuff, and then the sound doesn't work, so I can't even play it all. But I was thinking about it and just everything. Even when I am actively thinking about it because of the way her name is spelled and your name is spelled. If you're in here guilty of crime, that's why I'll call her most of the time guilty of crime. It's like my brain doesn't want to say her name the way it's pronounced. I want to pronounce it wrong because of the way it's spelled, which I love the way it's spelled. It's unique and cute, but my brain doesn't, it's a nice spelling for it. My brain just doesn't want to read it. Hey, blind hog searching for an acorn. Yeah, I don't either, Delana. And here's my thing. I think he's manipulated the hell out of her. He pled no contest to the murder charge. I think he's filled his parents' head. We know he has, full of bullshit. Like, now we'll get into Jenn Soto. Oh, Grandma Sherry. Thank you. Talking about Jenn Soto. and if she's going to be arrested and that kind of thing. A lot of people think it's coming. A lot of people think, and we know, look here, if he had anything to say, I think he would have done it a long time ago. I don't think he's like secretly holding bits of information. For what? He hasn't talked very nice about Jenn. We heard him say, like, Jenn knew Maddie, something about when he got out of the shower and he was in a towel and like Maddie was checking him out. And, you know, just he has insinuated a lot of bad things about her. I don't feel like he'd be protecting her. And like I said, a lot of people really believe that an arrest is imminent. I don't think she's going to be arrested. I think she's going to, who knows what she's doing, but I feel like I think maybe she should. Not maybe. I do think she should. For, in my opinion, you know, I don't necessarily think she was involved in taking Maddie's life. I just don't. But I definitely think that there was neglect and I think she has a lot of blame in what happened, but in her own way. I don't think she's going to be charged with anything. I think the little bit that they could charge her with probably isn't much. And we know that the police, and that's one of the things I wanted to play you that I had. So we've heard them say like, oh yeah, we're confident that someone else was probably involved. Like when they're talking to, at one point, Stephan's mom, when they go to the house for the hard drive. Oh my gosh, there's so much interesting stuff in that too that I wanted to just play and point out. We're going to try again in a moment, but I'll go ahead and get through my points first in case it doesn't work. But during that visit to the house, she's saying like, I don't know word for word, but basically like that this couldn't just be him. I know he's protecting her. And they're like, oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I believe it. We heard Jenn talking with Detective Kevin. I can never remember his last name, but he was furious. He was so mad, just like all of us. What do you mean? You just saw a picture of your daughter being abused by this piece of shit sexually, and your first thought is, he needs an attorney? The fuck is wrong with you? It doesn't make sense. He straight up tells her just like that, not in a nice way at all, not in a way you would talk to a grieving mother as an officer unless you thought she was involved or deserved some charges, in my opinion. I just don't think they could connect the dots because we hear a phone call between Stephan's dad and police from last summer. I think it was in July. It could have been June. It definitely wasn't August. And in this call, his dad's talking more about, Jenn also needs to pay. I can't remember how he says it, but the officer says, we've tried. We have spent months searching and trying to connect dots and trying to find evidence that she knew more, trying to find text messages. Like we've tried and we just haven't found it. That's why she hasn't been charged. So I don't think there's any evidence of her taking part in this. I think that it's easy for people to go there. I can definitely see why people might think that. And while I disagree with you, I respect your opinion and I want you to have it here freely. I don't believe that. And if you remember, there was a call that we listened to with Jenn Lou, with Stephan Stearns and his parents here on my channel. And Jenn said, wait a minute, pause it. He just said, I wish I would have ran downstairs and woke her up. If he was talking about Maddie, because they were talking about when he found her and like he was gone a lot out of the room and they were kind of talking, they wished he would have been paying more attention to what was going on. And he says he wished he would have ran downstairs and got her up. Maddie wasn't sleeping downstairs. She was in her nest, as he liked to say, right upstairs in that bed. It broke my heart when they were talking to Stephan that he will be, I know, Grandma Sherry, that was so sad and hard to hear. Okay. What about negligence or endangering a child? To me, those are a given. I think so too, but will they? I don't know that they would go back and charge her with that. I don't think they will. I really don't. I might be wrong, but I just don't see it. I have my hopes. I have no hope for it. If she's arrested, I'll be pleased. I think she's not my favorite person, right? And if she did something more than what we know about, I definitely will be pleased. But even what we know about, I just don't see it happening. The only one sleeping downstairs was Jenn. Yep. I wish I would have run downstairs. Tells me Maddie was suffering. It's interesting. Boo sheet. Jenn Soto could be arrested for not protecting Madeline. She neglected to protect her. And I think so too. Oh, I accidentally muted myself. There's a mute button on the mic, and when I'm like passionate, I'm sitting here holding it, like talking all crazy, and then I'm touching stuff. But I think so too. But I also think, are they going to, now that this case is closed, bring it all back to the surface for a neglect charge? When a lot of times, I mean, look what they think about the charges that get dropped for people to make deals and stuff. And I just don't see, I feel like that's minor, and there's a lot of bad shit happening in this world, and a lot of bad shit happening in Florida, and a lot of neglect, and a lot of, will they go back to it for that? I don't know. I definitely know if there was evidence that Jenn was involved, Maddie's dad would be fighting for her to be charged, and he doesn't seem to think that. Remember, this is something else Jen Lou noticed. And if you haven't checked out Jen's channel, please check it out, as well as Amber. I'm going to drop her channel. Melissa, I'm going to drop a couple channels in a second. But Jenn also had noticed that during Maddie's dad's speech at sentencing, he said, you took advantage of her and her family. And she thought that was his way of saying Jenn. Because if you remember, when it first happened, he was very, in Grandma Sherry's channel, he was like very upset. He wanted the truth. He wanted answers. He wanted, it didn't make sense. Like, it didn't make sense to all of us. Now, Amber's comment, I want to read and get into that, because where's it at? She had warnings as, but chose to ignore them. Where's Amber? I saw a comment from her I wanted to talk about. But let me see whose channel, because I know I didn't do the last one I wanted to do. Melissa hasn't been in here tonight yet, but I want to share it just because I know she's barely been on. And there's a bunch of other channels I love, and will always recommend the good channels to you when I think of them, or when it's relevant or whatever. But okay, so hey Twist, Amber says, another plea deal with more questions than answers. She was lying about things. Why else lie? She was. She lied and said that we took her to school at this time. She acted like she had said goodbye to her that morning. Or that was the last time she had seen her, that morning, right? When she was getting ready for school. She admitted to police she lied, though, about those things. And we know when she did that, now she doesn't have immunity either. That's another thing I want to clear up. So first, I want to say, I believe she lied about those things to cover for him. We dropped her off at school because knowing that she's missing and he's the last one to see her, people would immediately think, oh, what if it was him? That's natural. I think she just naturally was trying to protect him because that doesn't look good. That kind of thing. Her immunity is not real. It's not like you have immunity and you can never be charged ever. It's just they cannot use what she said in the one interview when she was given this derivative use immunity. They can't use anything she said in that interview to arrest her. They can use anything else she talked in that interview. So if they had phone evidence, text messages, pictures, conversations with her and Stephan, or like text with her and Maddie, whatever. She was in the back of some of the pictures. They've found years of pictures and videos. If her phone went with his phone the next day when he hid Maddie's body and stuff, if there is any other evidence, they can use that and arrest her. They just cannot use what she said in that interview to arrest her or against her at a trial. They couldn't, if she lied, though, they found out that she lied in that interview, well, then all bets are off. They can use that she lied against her. So, for instance, the lying, because that was part of this, anything she had said previously, as long as she told the truth and whatever, she wouldn't be charged with lying to police. I don't know. It's a complicated situation that even I don't understand. Hell, I'm just a normal ass person who likes to talk about this stuff, finds an interest in human psychology and people who are capable of doing these things, also finds an interest in knowing what's going on in this world, having my own children and my own loved ones that go out in the world every day. And of course, if you can ever do something to stand up for somebody else who might need it, or a victim or whatever, then of course for those reasons too. But I'm just a normal ass person with no education on this stuff besides all the documentaries I've watched. And Dexter, let me tell you, does not count as true crime education. But if it did, I would have a lot of it, because I've watched a lot of Dexter and a lot of repeat episodes. But yeah, it's confusing. And it's a lot. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of emotions that go into something like this. Oh my gosh, I'm just knocking everything over on the table. I'm sorry. All right, let's see if I can get any sound. That's the immunity Letitia wished she had. The fact that she has hidden out since all this speaks volumes to me. The fact that she couldn't show her fucking face at sentencing. The fact that Stephan Stearns being convicted and signing a plea deal, admitting to all the shit he had done to Maddie. The fact that he could get up there. Oh, God, this pisses me off. So my voice, you hear my voice changing. I'm sorry. The fact that he could get up there and say sweet things and confess, give his, I don't know, it was disgusting to hear, but say how much he loved Maddie and what the world has lost. The fact that he could do that, but she couldn't show her fucking face to do that. You couldn't show up and look him in the fucking face. No, I'm sorry. That's just pathetic. Couldn't be there for Maddie even then. And look, maybe it's true she was in the mental hospital. And if that's true, I'm dead ass wrong for saying that. I know. Because I believe in what I think happened, that Jenn was manipulated by Stephan. I do. Now, I also believe she's a master manipulator who is only concerned with herself and wants to be on tons of medication so life is comfy and cozy. Hello, Jennifer Soto, if you ever hear this, part of life is the parts that aren't cozy and comfy. The feeling the good and the bad. But I do think that, I personally think that she didn't know about the abuse that had been taking place because her head was in the sand and she was more concerned about herself and her meds and her sleep. And that's just my opinion. I do believe, though, that she should have known. And with all the signs, even the things she said herself, I believe that she could have easily known, and she is wrong for that. And she didn't protect Maddie and sending her into the room with him. There's many, I get out. I have different many different places where she's wrong. Your kid is literally not going to school, going to school with their head down, sleeping or crying almost every day, depressed. Hello? Don't you think you need to find out what's going on? Your child doesn't come out to the car, and you don't go into school to see. No, don't go in there and talk to the teachers or whatever face to face. No, I'm just going to drive to my mom's and call or text the teachers. She was lazy and selfish, but I do believe she was manipulated. That's just my opinion. But hey, Brandy. Oh, me too, Miss Vivant. I promise, and I've been saying that, so I shouldn't even say it, but I really do want to get back to it. Red flags all over the place, in my opinion. Disassociation. Carolina, thank you for being a member for 15 months. Love and miss you too. Thank you. And thank you for being here. She emailed the damn teacher and didn't walk inside. What the F? Yeah, she emailed her message like that, the teacher, and she drove to her mom's and emailed she texted one of Maddie's friends. She didn't walk inside. She just drove off. Like, I'm sorry, but I go pick my kids up from school every fucking day. And if one day they don't walk out to my car, the very first thing I'm doing is walking inside. And I can't see myself leaving without like calling the cops immediately. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because we never know how we would react in a situation unless we've been there. But hey, Little Red. Oh, thank you for coming back. Thank you for being here. Hey, Michelle. Groomed versus manipulated. Right. Maybe groomed is better. I don't know. There were so many things changing about Maddie. You can't tell me Jenn didn't know something was happening. Maybe she chalked it up to being like just a teenager, but also maybe she didn't fully know because she was too focused on herself. I don't know. I mean, she was on a lot of heavy meds. She had him putting her to bed and making sure she went to sleep, and him taking her to school the next day so she could get her sleep, even though she didn't have to work the next day. And I don't know I don't know. I'll never be comfortable with what she said about getting him an attorney, but I'll still be surprised if she's charged. Maybe I'll be wronged. And if I am, you know what? That'll be a good thing in this case. So I don't see it yet. I don't know. How do you not notice drastic behavior changes? I know, J13. I don't know. You would think you definitely do. But the interesting thing is, even some of her teachers didn't believe there was anything terrible going on. Even the ones that were reporting this behavior say at the time they didn't see it as anything serious, or, I don't remember word for word, but yeah. Medicated blur. Yes. Hey, Lady fucking T. Good to see you. All these years. I know, Grandma Sherry. I don't know. I mean, maybe I am wrong, like I said. But it's just where most of me believes. Because when you say things like that, of course, I think it's hard to believe that she wouldn't. But then again, when the case first came out, we were talking about this one day here. And the chat was just one after the next after the next. My mom didn't know. I never told my mom. My mom didn't find out until I was 30. My mom still doesn't know. I mean, I know my parents don't know a lot of things that happened to me when I was little. Just in experiences in general and more violating things. Things that violated me. But Ashton says, arrest Jenn Soto. Same. Yeah. But I don't know. What do you think, Amber? Because I know you're on the side. I know how you used to think, but I'm curious what you're feeling like now, especially since what are they waiting on? Are they waiting on him to cooperate? And what information really could he even have besides his word of mouth, which because they've dug through all of their texts, all of their GPS, like all of their electronics and all of the camera footage. This dude was on camera. Hell, I still want to know how he got her out of the house, but Jenn was asleep. So he was on camera all day long, starting very early around 7 a.m., going to the dumpsters. And that's actually in the timeline that's on my free tier on Patreon. Like every timestamp where he was caught on camera is on there. But it was over and over again all day long. You know, he literally pulled into a car garage with cameras and was caught on camera getting her out of the front seat and putting her in the trunk. I feel like they would have, I don't know. I feel like if there was evidence against her besides his words, they would have it by now. But when I go back to that 7 o'clock, you know, him at the dumpsters throwing away Maddie's stuff long before they were supposed to have left, it makes me wonder, how did he get her to the car? When did he get her to the car? And Jenn would have been asleep. And we know that unless, because her phone, and police have talked about this, pretty sure I heard it audibly and not just reading a document. But they said that her phone went on charge that night at like 11 something when she sends the messages about her being in bed. And he says she's snuggled up in her nest. Her phone goes on charge next to the bed, like on some kind of wireless charging device. Then it is not taken off of that until 9:15 when she gets up, because her alarm goes off at 9. She snoozes it once and then she gets up the next time. And the phone didn't move at all, was never picked up or looked at throughout the night. And Harley Quinn, I'm doing good. How are you doing, babe? How you doing, babe? Let's see. I've not told my parents about my essay. I don't know if I ever will. Right, Tess? I'm sorry. And Grandma Sherry, I'm so sorry. My parents didn't believe me. My family, rather. Oh. I remember that chat. Yeah. It was shocking how many, you know, Adrian, like, thought he pled guilty for it all. No. So he took a plea deal for it all, but when it came time to plead guilty for the murder, he said no contest. He pled no contest. My parents don't know. I'm so sorry, Miss Vivant. So sorry for all of you guys, to whether just for everyone who had to experience, for everyone who is too afraid or anxious or awkward to tell their family, for everyone who their family already knew, and for everyone whose family didn't believe them. I'm so sorry for all you guys. She had to have just turned a blind eye. Michelle, she wasn't even concerned about her being missing. Never looked, never cared. Only referred to her as she, her, and the body. Well, she, you know, her family was out handing out flyers. Her family, I can't disagree with you, Michelle, on that, honestly. I don't know that I can think of a time where she seemed to be concerned. I mean, the fact that she did a news interview, I guess, shows that you're trying to get her name out, but he did one too. So, and there was lies in it from both of them. I don't know. He is not a credible witness. No matter what he tells them, they will not believe him. Yeah, I think there's going to have to be some evidence to go along with whatever he says. Oh, Grandma Sherry, I'm so happy to hear that. No, Michelle, that is not true. Police said that. Please do not do that to me. I would not take her word that she was asleep. Police talk about her phone. in the fact that it went when it went down on charge and to sleep and when it got picked up. And then the only other person who said anything about her sleeping was him. He said he wished he would have went downstairs and woke her up on a phone call with his parents when he was talking about finding Maddie. I don't know when we have any evidence that she helped clean up or get her dressed or get her out of the house, though. I don't know of any time that we have evidence of that. I know that some people have opinions of that, and I can see why, because she said we took her to school, because she said she last saw her that morning when she was getting dressed. But that doesn't mean that she helped clean up, get her dressed, and got her out of the house. I think she also could have said that because she knows suspicion is immediately going to go to him if he's the last person that saw her and he takes her to school alone and doesn't even drop her off at the school, but yet at the church down the road. But I mean, look, hey, when we get the text messages, if we ever do, we'll see what he said to her at that time about it, because I would like to see that. But I'm not taking her word at all. I don't believe a fucking word she says. I go by police, what they say in evidence. I would never say something like she got her dressed and got her out of the house, because I don't have evidence of that. But police have said that they do have evidence of the phone, when it went to sleep, and when the last time it was picked up the next morning or whatever. I think if she would be charged, it would have happened by now. I think she knew what happened, but probably not until he got her out of the house himself. Interesting. Like, you think she knew after the fact, she put it together and was like, oh my, and was put, or... Okay, have a good one, Michelle. I remember that chat as well. Yeah. I'm so glad too. It just wasn't something we talked about. It was almost like it was somehow our fault back in the 90s. No, you're right, Tess. I think a lot of people feel that way because girls were shamed. And that's when, like, what you were wearing and, that times were different then. Yeah. Times were definitely different then. And I could see that. Just like mental health wasn't talked about as much. She told the woman making the flyers, don't call me anymore about anything. Contact my sister. I don't know about that. She did lie about seeing her that morning. Like I said, she said, something about her when she was getting, she saw last, after, I guess, maybe it was after it came out that she didn't take her to school. She last saw her when she was up getting dressed or something like that. Right? I do remember both. I remember on the news the comment about we took her to school. But I think she told police that she last saw her that morning when she was up getting dressed. Maybe that's how it went. That was the culture in many places. Yeah. Hey, Nene G. Good to see you. Yeah, and I think she knew more about the essay, so she helped conceal the crime with him, so nothing would be uncovered than it was anyways. And I think she knew more about the essay, and she helped conceal the crime with him, so nothing could be uncovered than it was anyway. Well, we know she does say she sat in the car with him and talked about how they were focusing on him when she didn't believe it was him. And they were talking about what they were going to do. Like, so it's possible. I don't know. All I know is this. On my channel, everybody's free to their opinions. However, if you're going to say that something happened, like Jen Soto did this or did that, please, let's say that only about things that we have factual evidence for. And if it's just our opinion, then you can share that too. But that's different. That's just our opinion. So like when I say, and no offense to the person who said it, she told the person pointing out flyers where do we have that? Because I don't remember that, and it could definitely be true. Does that come from police documents, from an interview or something like that with police? Or is it just what you've heard? Or, oh no, I just knocked over my lemonade. Or when it comes to, like, you know, she helped get her dressed the next day, got her out of the house, like that comment. And that's okay if it's your opinion, but we just don't know that for sure. We just don't, you know, not without evidence or proof. We need to have some sort of proof for the things that we say, because people don't realize, I think that, like, chatters, I don't know, you don't realize how things will be carried to the next place and the next place. And it's easier and it's better. We're talking about real, look, there are surviving victims of this, right? We have Maddie's dad, her stepmom, Stephan's parents, them too, right? Jenn's mom and her sister, and they deserve, for the worst time in their life, to be spoke about with the facts, you know? And if it's not a fact, then that's okay. You can still share it, but you just have to, you know, it's my opinion, in my opinion, whatever. And I try to say over and over again, if you do not see it in police documents, do not believe it 100%. I don't give a shit if the best news station of all news stations that you trust so much, with the best reporter, put it out there and blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. They get shit wrong all the time. Dateline, we just saw with Idaho, got multiple things wrong. Sources can be wrong, whatever. If it doesn't come from the trial or police interviews, arrest affidavit, police document, court document, whatever, just don't put your whole heart and soul into believing it as a fact, because I promise you, you will get hurt or burned that way. And you'll see that, you know, a lot of the stuff that gets said on here as a fact is not a fact. I'll listen. I hear it from creators, like, and I just cringe inside because I know their viewers eat it up. Don't say this or that as a fact if it's not. It's important. We owe that. We, you know, look, this is just something we all do in our free time as a hobby, even though that sounds weird, like, but we're all interested in the human psyche or true crime or this part of true crime, that part of true crime, whatever. We owe it to the people who this is so much more than that for them. This isn't just their research at the end of the day when, you know, have their quiet time. This isn't just their conversation topic with a friend. We deserve to be able to talk about it because this is going on in our world right now, but we also owe it to the people involved to do it with care and caution and concern. And that's all. And I know you guys know that. I just want to reiterate that because I don't care if you agree with me or not. I'm not mad at you. I don't care. I promise. And I hope that you guys can not get mad at me if I don't agree with you. And we can just have respectful, kind, honest, open discussions about that. And we will. We've been doing it on this channel for 5 years now, and it ain't going to stop. It ain't going to stop. We're going to have open, honest conversations, and we're going to share the facts, and we're going to talk about the cases that get lots of attention and the cases that don't get any. And we're going to talk about the cases of the little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, but we're also going to talk about all the people of color as well and all the Native Americans. And we are, because we've been doing it for years and I'm not stopping now. So thank you guys for being here. I was going to try the sound. I guess I could try it like one more time just to see if it works, but
history. It is attached.
I don't know
for
what
review.
the hell happened,
The report
like in
will be
between
for-
you. I had been watching, to be fair, my YouTube account is signed in on Bentley's little phone, and on my tablet, I'm just in no YouTube account. And I had been watching some on the phone, his phone, right prior to this. But today I was on my laptop listening and it was working. And then I go live
So
and I can't
maybe
hear it
they
at
might
all.
be kind of referencing that
I
incident with
will link
Stephan
this
Stearns
video
and the
from
PIN
Plunder
number
and
he
the
wasn't
Twitter
supposed to give
post
away. Other than
in
that, I don't
the
think they
description
found
as soon as this ends. So
anything
you guys can
concrete
listen
that we
to the
know
full
about
clip
with
there
these
or
threats
the
of
full video.
Stearns. Maybe it's just
And
talk.
yeah,
Maybe
thank you guys for being here. I've not been in the chat the last on my last 2-3 minute rant. So let me come back to it, and then I'm going to say bye to you guys. But I want to make sure there's nothing I need to respond to. Agreed. I have asked for any other documents released since the sentencing. Those texts being discussed on the other channel is just him manipulating the creator for sympathy. Well, I think he's probably trying that. I don't know that it would work, but I agree. I want to see the text between like him and Jenn during this time. I want to see the messages between him and Maddie. I really do. I hope that we'll get to see that. But I know that recent stuff has went out, Lil Red, so you might want to try again. Oh, Ashton Lee, I'm so sorry. Do you think it's my fault? Oh, my God. No, Mom, I just want to tell you. J13. That's funny. And I can see that times are definitely different now. Let me just get through some of these. Hey, Nene. Oh, I already said hi, but hey, again. Lil Red, thank you for being a member for 22 months. 22 months of fun. Love, Alex and friends. Love you back. Yes, the car combo. Me too, Delana. It does give different perspectives. The accused. I'll look that up. What are you saying? Yep, I do remember that conversation too about what she got at her birthday. And I also remember something about some money. It's been a couple years since it's all started, so I probably can't remember it very clearly. Me too, J13. I'm glad the detectives gave Jenn hard paper towels. All right, you guys. I think I'm just about caught up. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Hey, Kimberly. I will see you. I'd love to see you guys tomorrow. I don't know because we have football and I'm going to get my phone. It's like an hour and 10 minutes away, but I am so excited. I've missed my friends. I've missed the people I text with, and I've missed like a couple of Discord chats I go in so much. So yeah, I can't wait. And I've missed you guys, and I can't wait to have a thumbnail and stuff. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining the conversation and trying to do it respectfully. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to let you go. Have a good night. And hopefully you guys don't take too much offense to what I had to say, especially if you disagreed with me, especially if I was kind of pointing out, please use in my opinion or whatever. I say it with love. I just say it because I think we all care about this stuff, and it's really important. And even though we know it's important to us, it's just discussion or a topic that we might feel inclined to speak up about to try to just keep the conversation going. And to some people, it's their lives and they can't escape it, yeah. So anyways, thank you guys for being here. I will see you, if not tomorrow, on Saturday. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you to the mods, and yeah, appreciate you guys. Bye.